I feel like a lukewarm Christian. Revelations 3:14 through 22. I'm reading through it right now. And when I read through it, I feel convicted by it because it sounds like me. And I had to look it up. Like, what does it actually mean to be a lukewarm Christian? And a lukewarm Christian means to be spiritually indifferent, right? Self satisfying and lacking that spiritual, like the wholehearted devotion to Jesus. It's kind of like spiritual laziness. And I feel spiritually lazy. And by the way, I'm an active elder at my church. I serve in the worship team. I'm playing this Sunday. Um, but I still feel spiritually lazy. And honestly, it's hard. I want to be honest in that my reality, it is very difficult. Like I can't make excuses. I can cut things out to make more time. But man, when you have a child, when you have work that's taking a lot of your time, when you run businesses, when life is very, for all of us, life has so many demands. And it's just we're so tired. There's only a certain amount of gas in the gas tank that we can expend, and honestly, like we expend very little on God, right? And it's hard. Like we spend it on a lot of other things. Now we do expend it on things that we probably shouldn't, like video games, Netflix, and shopping and things that we don't really need to do, right? Like going on vacations and et cetera, et cetera. But um, I will say, I mean, according to what lukewarm actually means, I feel like that's what I am. And, let's actually read through the part. So it says, I know your deeds, that you're neither hot or cold. I wish you were not either one or the other. So because you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I am about to spit you out of my mouth. It's very harsh, but it's what God says. You say, I am rich. I have acquired all this wealth and I do not need a thing. But you do not realize that you are wretched, pitiful, poor, blind, and naked in the spiritual sense. And, if you live in America, not all of you guys are in America, but if you do live in America, I will say a lot of us are really rich and we don't realize it. The fact that we have any money in our account is rich because most people in the world, they literally live day by day. Like they don't have just food readily available at the nearest QFC or at the nearest convenience store. That's rich, okay? They don't have food in the pantry. They just have food for the day, and for many, many, many centuries, they just had food barely for the day, maybe for the week, okay? And so we are extremely rich in America, which is why I believe the temptation to be lukewarm is so large because we truly believe that we don't need God. I don't need God. I know I'm going to have a food for the day. And we forget that. But if we didn't have food every day and we literally depended on God for our daily bread, I think it'll be a lot different. I think we'll be so much more desperate for the Lord. And so I'm convicted, I not only because of like my struggle with wealth, the fact that I have, a house and I have food in my pantry and I have money where I can go out to, the store and get food whenever I want. Um, that right there, I struggle already. And and people have 401ks. That's even more like security and money. This is why it really is hit hard for the rich man, to really get the right perspective. The other thing is that, spiritual laziness, right? The lukewarmness. I don't spread the gospel as often as I should. I mean, this right here, like what I'm doing right now, I mean, I try to carve out some portion of my day to just make a video, right? As, just trying to encourage brothers and sisters. But I don't really spread the gospel. And I really should, because that's spiritual laziness. God called us. The Great Commission is to call us to spread the word, to spread the good news of Jesus, the fact that he died for us, right? But how often? When's the last time you spread the gospel? And I'm not speaking to you as in like, I'm criticizing you. I'm looking at myself because I haven't spread the gospel in a long time. I haven't really spread the gospel in a long time. And we really should. I mean, it's good news. And so I've become spiritually lazy. I do believe that I am a lukewarm Christian. And I want to change that. I need to be more bold about my faith. And that's another thing. We are not bold about our faith. We're lukewarm about it. We're hidden about it. I live in Washington State. Christians aren't really liked, okay? We don't want to give our strong opinions because we know that if we give our strong opinions, then we're going to get hate because that's the world we live in right now with social media. Hate upon criticism upon criticism. And then we want to just hide in our little shell and like, okay, this is what I believe, but I don't want to share with anyone. And we shouldn't be doing that. God tells us to be bold about Jesus and not lukewarm. So, guys, my encouragement and an encouragement to myself is that let's be bold about Christ to the people around us. Let's tell people about Jesus, the good news. All they have to do is believe in Jesus and they can go to heaven. They can spend eternity with Jesus. If you truly believe in this story, if you believe that this is real, then all you have to do is you have to tell people about the good news. And it is good news. And it changes lives, completely changes lives. It humbles you. It gives you a peace that transcends all understanding. If you really do follow this word, of course, right? That's the caveat. So, are you a lukewarm Christian? I think that's the question for you. And if you are, I challenge you guys to work against that. What does it mean? Like, how do you practically do it? Spend more time with the Lord. Spread more gospel. Think about the people around you and tell them about Jesus. Okay? Make disciples. Or be discipled. Either one of those, right? Serve at your local church. And I think you'll be on your way. I think you'll be on the right way. We don't want to become like the church in Laodicea. We don't want to be spit out of God's mouth. You know what I mean? Like that's not a good, poor, wretched, blind, naked. Okay, these are not good descriptions. Let's not be like that. You know, our time here is, Jesus was only 33. He was 33, guys, and most of his disciples were probably in their 20s. How old are you? Okay, we should have done this a long time ago. We're late. A lot of us are late. I'm almost 40. Okay, I am late. And so that's my encouragement, guys. I hope this helps. I'll see you guys in the next video.